All right, everyone, I guess we can start. Hey, welcome, everyone. This is Expeditions Conquistador. So I saw that this was like a CRPG series. Is it CRPG or turn-based? Or I can't remember. I can't quite remember. But there's a series of these games on Steam that look really interesting. They're like historical role-playing turn-based games. And they have, like, as you can see right here, they have like Expeditions Viking. Their most recent was Expeditions Rome. And this was apparently their first one, Expeditions Conquistador. This one might be a little interesting or might be a little weird, because this is definitely, from what I can gather, you are one of the Conquistadors. And the Conquistadors were not very nice to anyone, particularly the natives of the New World. So I don't know what's going to go on in this game, and I don't know. So we'll see what this is. I just saw, like, I've had this game in my Steam Deck, and I was like, I'll give it a try, I guess, because I'm looking for, like, a longer RPG series, but I don't want to go into, like, one of the CRPGs I want to play, like Pathfinder right now, because, God, those games are long. I was recently playing Wrath of the Righteous just to, like, test it out and get all the way through Book 1 just to see how it goes. It took me 18 hours just to get through Book 1. Granted, I did stop and do a bunch of stuff, but it's whatever. Anyway, Codex. So we have... Okay, so let's check all this stuff out first. Alright, so Codex. Codex is here to help you distinguish fact from fiction. Everything in Conquistador is at least inspired either by historical events, peoples, and places, or by Native American mythology or Spanish legends. As you progress through the game, articles about the experiences you have in the game and how they relate to actual history will be gradually added to the Codex. If you ever find yourself wondering if something you just found in the game has any bearing in real life, check the Codex and see if it says anything about that subject. Codex articles remain unlocked across subsequent playthroughs, so even if you start over on the game, your previously unlocked articles remain there. Oh yeah, I do remember a while ago I did look at the first little bit of this game, but I can't remember if I actually did anything. So there's apparently 24 codices to unlock. Well, let's give it a try. So there's two campaigns, Hispaniola and Mexico. And it looks like you have to beat the Hispaniola campaign first in order to do the Mexico campaign. All right. Hernan Cortez was the Spanish conqueror of Mexico who allied himself with the Totonac and Tlaxcala and overthrew the Aztec Empire, destroying Tenochtitlan. Yeah, I do remember that. They didn't have the numbers to just be able to march on the Aztec Empire on their own, even with, like, their bringing about a lot of plague and disease and death. So they found a bunch of tribes that didn't like the Aztecs because the and we're just like, hey, if you help us, we'll take them down. And then bad stuff happened to those people too. So it was a lose-lose for everyone except the Spanish. If you pick this setting, you will face some major challenges, but you are likely to prevail in the end. I mean, the only thing I can do, so let's keep going. All right, character creation. Welcome to character creation. This is where you choose what kind of conquistador you wish to be. Your choices in this menu and the following will influence your opportunities and challenges throughout the game, but don't be alarmed. The decisions you make here may make the game harder, but they cannot make it impossible. Okay. Sure. The current screen lets you set up your own character, gender, name, and skills. Your skills will influence your access to and consumption of resources such as medicine and rations, and skills will also open up new options during events and conversations. You can always move your cursor over icons to see what they mean. It is recommended that you choose 2 or 3 skills to specialize in without lowering any of your skills completely, but feel free to follow your instincts if they tell you otherwise. On the next screen, you'll have to select the people to bring on your expedition to the New World. The different character types provide substantial bonuses to your skills, and different characters have different strengths, weaknesses, and abilities in battle. Each character also has 3 personality traits which determine what will cause them to lose or gain morale throughout your travels. Alright, so guess we'll go with male Inquisitor or Conquistador. Let's name him... Let's do some... Let's name him... Actually, no. Do some randoms. We don't... I saw Bruno. I should... Actually, no. I like Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno, so... Let's talk about him. Bruno... Villa, Munoz, Lopez, Mata, Villarejo. Bruno Villarejo. Okay, I like that. Alright, so what do each of these stats have? So, tactics. Used to change the starting situation in a battle to your advantage. Determines the amount of items you can bring into combat and how far from your troops you can place them. Okay. Diplomacy. Affects your chances of success in negotiations and cultural exchanges. Healing. Reduces the medicine cost of treating injured expedition members. Survival. Improves the results of hunting, reducing daily use of rations. Scouting increases your daily movement and occasionally grants better information about battles. And leadership bolsters the starting morale of your people and raises their maximum morale, reducing risks of mutiny. Let's get some diplomacy, some leadership, tactics. Get healing down 1. There. I think that'll work. I think that'll work. Get 1 down and then just get the scouting up because I don't really care about. Let's do the healing. I don't really care about. I can figure out ways to work around that. Let's see. So I'm good at tactics, diplomacy, and leadership, and a little bit of scouting. Survival and healing, not so much. What's the level? I wonder what the level cap is. I wonder what the cap is. So let's reduce this down all the way and see how far we can go. So we can go up to 10 with one of these. Okay. Let's actually put you down to there and put you up to 9 because I want you to be my big boy is diplomacy. And I'll make leadership there. There we go. I don't know. These stats might fuck me over, but we'll see. Maybe I'll have a chance to level up. Alright, follow selection. Follower details. So, doctors. +2 to healing, poor fighters, but useful peer support units that can restore endurance or revive incapacitated troops. Okay, I would like that. I'll probably look at all of them after... Let's see, hunters. +2 to survival, accurate and lethal shooters, but vulnerable and weak in melee. Scholars, +2 to diplomacy, useful support units, but that can add a lot of flexibility to your force. Scouts, +2 to scouting, fast and lethal melee fighters, but cannot use ranged weapons. And soldiers, +2 to tactics, slow but tough melee fighters, poor aim in ranged combat. Okay. So it looks like they have like endurance is probably their health. Defense is their percent reduction. This is what they do if they hit on a damage, and then they have a crit chance and like what the times on the crit is. Range movement, 6 places. And then these are their traits, it looks like. So personality traits determine which decisions and events will cause each follower to gain or lose morale. Aggressive may gain morale when you engage an enemy in combat, but may lose morale if you pass up an opportunity to fight. Proud gains morale every time you win a battle, but loses morale if you're defeated or fail to accomplish your goals. Adventurous may gain morale every time you make a significant discovery, but may lose morale if you shy away from adventure. Alright? Well, regardless of what her other shit is, she's racist, so I don't want her in my party. May lose morale if you recruit followers of another ethnicity, but may gain morale if you display racism. I'm not going to be doing that, so I don't really care about you anymore, Marisol Costales. Cautious may gain morale if you avoid dangerous situations. Adventurous. So she's cautiously adventurous. Okay. Open-minded, altruistic, cautious. Okay. Actually, and then you are peaceful, altruistic, and narcissistic. Honestly, you seem like the better option. Teresa Sanchez, age 27. Teresa's mother died when she was giving birth, launching her father into a deep depression from which he never recovered. Seeing suffering all around her as a child, she grew determined to help people get well. Before joining your expedition, she was the local doctor in your area, where she excelled particularly in stitching dagger and arquebus. I'll hire her. She seems like the best option for that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 slots. So I have 10 slots and 5 things to do with them. See, if there's 5 of them, I would probably want at least 4 soldiers, maybe. Let's see. Hunters. So between the hunters and the soldiers, I might want like 6 of those, 6 in total. So 3 hunters and 3 soldiers, or 4 hunters and 4 soldiers and 2 hunters. 1 or 2 scholars. and a couple scouts. So go through the hunters first. So let's any of them that are display racism I don't want. Peaceful, altruistic, proud. Okay. Courageous, proud, pious. Aggressive, open-minded, greedy. Cautious, proud, pious. Let's see. Adriana Carrera. Peaceful, altruistic, proud. Courageous, proud, pious. Proud. Act in accordance with faith. Peaceful, altruistic, proud. I deliberately seek out battle. I'm not necessarily deliberately looking to seek out battle. Dagger and bow. Range, move at 8%, 25%, 25 damage. 4%, 1.5 crit. Ooh, her percentage on her range attack is not as good, though. Yeah, she's not as good, though. Aggressive, open-minded, greedy. Courageous, proud, pious. We'll go with you then. Alejandro Pintado. Alejandro was the son of a Viscount whose house fell into disgrace and destitution when he ran afoul of a cardinal and became a target of the Inquisition. The nature and origin of the dispute that felled Pintado are murky and mysterious, and if Alejandro knows anything, he isn't willing to share it. He joined your Hermandad, hoping to restore honor to his name, and so far he's been able to do so. He has a dagger and an arquebus. Alright, so he has a gun. Nice. I'll hire him. Alright, scholars. Scholars are the sort of point units that have a lot of flexibility to the force. Diplomacy. No. Okay, this guy has potential. This guy seems like the best option, it seems like. Peaceful, courageous, adventurous. I kind of like that combination of abilities. Expose weakness. Okay, so I think Reyes will be my scholar. Daniel Reyes grew up in a family of soldiers, and he was determined to ascend from the family tradition. Though his father set him on a path of a military career, he chose to study strategy and battle tactics, and through hard work and stubbornness, he earned a respectable place as a war advisor to the Marquis. But Reyes is in possession of an ever-traveling mind, and when rumor from the New World reached his ears, speaking of dark cults and heathen rituals, he set his sights on those mysterious new shores. If there was ancient magic and forbidden knowledge there, it would be his. All right, you're hired, Daniel. Trying to find ones that don't, like, clash too badly with what I have already, too. All right, so Scout. Checking. All right, Federico's out. Doesn't look like there's any other ones that are too different. Peaceful, cautious, adventurous. Peaceful, altruistic, courageous. Aggressive, open-minded, pious. Open-minded, cautious, narcissistic. You seem like a pretty good option. Francisco Figueroa. Sorry. I am gonna butcher some of these names, unfortunately. I apologize for that. Francisco is a short and slender young man with delicate features and a roguish charm. Though he had only recently joined your Hermandad by the time you left for the New World, he was eager to join your expedition. What he lacks in strength, he more than makes up for in endurance and agility, and his acrobatic tricks are particularly popular in the evening around the campfires. Sure. That'll be a fun addition. Alright, so what do we got? So, Echeverria is out. Pilar is out. Were there women conquistadors? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't really care, but I was just curious if that's historically accurate. Enrique's out. Okay, so open-minded, greedy, aggressive, pious, peaceful, courageous, narcissistic. Greedy, pious, no. Peaceful, altruistic, proud. Let's go with Padilla first. Their differences in their damage outputs. Actually, she's one of the better ones anyway. Rosalia Padilla. Young Rosalia is the daughter of your father's most trusted sword arm. From the time she could walk, she started her training. Her father determined to honor his name. Because her father had wished for a son, approval did not come easy, but she attained it. Her loyalty is unquestionable, and despite her youth, her swordsmanship is flawless. Perfect. I always love having some people who know what they're doing on board. So let's get another. Let's see if we can find another. I can probably do with a aggressive, altruistic, courageous Juan Ortega. Try this guy out. Not much is known of Juan Ortega. Despite his ruthlessness on the field of battle, he is a polite and soft-spoken character most of the time, but he keeps to himself and doesn't speak of his past. It has been established that he served as a mercenary for a few years before traveling to Hispaniola, where he joined your expedition, but nobody knows where he is from or why he chose to come to the New World. With every passing evening, the rumors concerning Maestro Ortega grow ever more impressive. Alright, you're hired. Then I want... He's an open-minded narcissist. Kind of funny. Ooh, he has a polearm too, so that might be change a little bit of his like tactics. What do they actually have? Sword, polearm, polearm. So you have sword and sword. Let's get a polearm user. So let's get Bernardo Trevino. Born in 1494 to a blacksmith in Madrid, where at a young age he began his life as an apprentice. At the age of 15, he began his training as a soldier under your banner. He showed a ferocity and zeal that made him stand out from the others and proved his worth as a soldier of your Hermandad. Alright, you're hired. Let's get one more scout, because I feel like that would be a good combo to have, is like that and another scout, another hunter, and then I'll figure out what I want from there. So, not you. Peaceful, cautious, adventurous. Let's get Montego Aragones. What else do we got? That's no. Montego Aragones. Ever since he was a child, Montego always had a strong sense of civic duty and a powerful desire to find adventure and be a hero, but he was never very good at combat or very fond of killing people. When he joined your Hermandad, he took up the study of maps and orienteering and quickly became the best scout in your brotherhood. As long as Montego is with you, you know that you will never get lost. Sure. You're hired. Get another hunter as well. Let's get the... Ooh, he's actually pretty good with his stuff, and courageous, proud, pious isn't too bad. Get Rafael Lopez. Rafael had a good life as a hunter in Spain until he messed it all up. Blind with baseless jealousy and drunk out of his mind, he murdered his loving wife one night on a suspicion of adultery. He was caught and tried for murder, found guilty, and sentenced to death. At the last possible moment, Rafael was offered a chance of pardon if he agreed to be sent to the New World and serve the Spanish crown on expeditions to the mainland. That's, maybe not him. Oh, but he has that ×2 crit, which is really nice. But, like, everyone else is either a racist or not very good. Not as good. Oh, he also has a gun. Fine, I'll give him a redemption chance. Then we have doctors or scholars. What do we got for scholars again? Bow, dagger, dagger, arquebus, dagger, arquebus. Have no. Greedy, proud. Open my. I think it'd be more important to have doctors, honestly, to have like more healers in our unit. So let's. I know I don't like having the fact that it's, I only get a narcissist, but narcissist, which is gonna be gain morale, chosen or tasked or promoted to. So I'd have to promote. Okay, so I have to be promoted. He has to be promoted a bit more. But he's peaceful and altruistic. Wait, he's an altruistic narcissist. I don't necessarily know if that contradicts or not, but that's kind of interesting. So anyway, we have Antonio Velasquez. Not much is known about Antonio besides him being an extremely talented doctor. How he gained the knowledge he possesses or the skills that he exhibits are a mystery. Wandering into town from the forest on a day like any other, he quickly attracted a crowd of curious people in the poor quarters. He went from person to person and, with simple remedies, made almost every sick person better. His sympathetic nature is unmatched, and he can make any person feel welcome in his company. Alright, that works. Alright, let's take some soldiers. Okay, I actually have some okay stats. Bruno Villarejo. Alright. These are my stats. I'm still kind of sucky at healing, but I'm great at tactics and pretty good at scouting and diplomacy. Alright, some background. The year is 1518, a year before Hernan Cortez would be elected captain of the third expedition to the South American mainland, where he would overthrow the Aztec Empire. But that will not happen because you have beaten him to the punch. Oh, are we doing some alternate history stuff? You are the eldest child of a Spanish nobleman, and you yourself hold the title of Hidalgo. With your father's backing, you have been the leader of a successful hermandad, meaning brotherhood, back in the Old World, a peacekeeping association of armed individuals which protected the countryside around your father's town. During this time, you demonstrated an aptitude for leadership and strategy that earned you the respect of the people under your command, but it was time for a greater challenge. The king's permission and your father's financial support, of course, because we need daddy's money, you purchased a ship and selected your crew from the best of the brothers and sisters in your hermandad. Together, you are off on the long and arduous journey to explore the New World. In your cargo hold, you bring rations, medicine, equipment, and assorted valuables. You must first make a stop on the Caribbean island of Hispaniola under Spanish domain since 1496. Here, you will hire servants or buy slaves, rest and restock, and gain what information you can about the New World. After 5 weeks on the Atlantic Ocean, your people gather on the deck as the call "Land Ahoy" rings out from the rigging. On a clear afternoon, gulls screeching in the wake of your ship, you sail into the port of Santo Domingo to defeat a Spanish colonial rule in the New World. Begin.
1518. That year, the Maria Teresa left Spain and set sails for Santo Domingo. Each of us had our reasons for going, but on the sea, they did not matter. The fraternity was our family, and we followed our Capitan. In the worst moments, we learned who we could trust with our lives. The troubles only strengthened our resolve. When we finally glimpsed the shores of Hispaniola on the horizon, relief and excitement washed over us, our hearts filled with the promise of adventure. Our welcome was far from warm, however. The Gobernador disbanded our group and stripped our Capitan of command. If we were to continue, the Capitan would need to win his favor. It was only the first of many challenges.
Just got here, and I already got all my shit taken away. Oh boy. Also, it's like land of adventure, land of genocide, more like, but we'll see. I mean, I'm trying to be more diplomatic, so maybe I can change history in this game. Okay, so I got a little horsey symbol. Oh, it's me! It's me! Give me. Give me. Interesting. Welcome. Welcome to Hispaniola. You're reading a tutorial screen. Thank you. Click on continue or the arrow to the right to proceed. If you want to disable tutorials, you can click disable and then close. Main interface 2 of 4. On the top left corner, you can find the menu button. From here, you can access the main menu, follower management, goals, and inventory. In the top right corner, you can see the compass. Click on this to open the map. In the lower right corner, you can find the Make Camp button. You cannot access this menu yet as you can't camp inside a city. Fair enough. Camera controls. Your mouse cursor changes to show where you can and cannot go. This cursor indicates an inaccessible location. This cursor indicates an inaccessible. So gray is accessible, red is inaccessible. And then this weird cursor indicates the currently selected location. Click here again to move to the selected location. Ah, okay. So you click and then click again to confirm. Got it. Okay, what's up we got there? Got moves left. We got rations. I'm guessing moves left is per day. Movement. Interactive objects in the world are highlighted when you hover over them. You can hold down the highlight button to see which objects on the screen are interactive. Please click on the soldier in front of you to proceed. Okay. Confiscation. Look at this suave gentleman. As soon as you disembark, you're accosted by a group of soldiers led by a tall, heavy-set man with graying hair dressed in a captain's army uniform. Halt! By order of Governor Bernardo de Manzanedo, I am confiscating your vessel and all of her crew and cargo. With what justification, if you please? Oh, all my stuff is gone. It typically does not please the governor to give justification for his actions, but he has instructed me to instruct you to go to the palace and speak to his grace forthwith. Perhaps you can pry an explanation out of him. Go to station. Very well. I can see that you're just following orders. The captain nods and shrugs at the same time. It is very reasonable of you, mi senor. My name is Juan Noriega, by the way. Pleased to meet you. Bruno Villarejo. He nods and lets you slip past him. Then he gets back to the business of pounding everything you own. Oh, thanks. I mean, I'm already in a land where all my shit's already been taken away from me. I should probably do whatever I can to not anger the people in charge right now. At least not yet. So that's where I need to go. I'm just kind of looking around. See what we got. So this is my goals. There's an active goal marker. Map screen. Go to the palace at the north end of San Francisco. We have my expedition members. Okay, so these are like all the info for all my stuff. Okay. Close. QR, inventory. That brings up the map. Ooh. So we get like this. So this is Hispaniola. That makes sense. Little legend marker, quest marker, active quest. So kind of. Okay, that's interesting. So we'll see how this goes, but it looks like it might be an interesting game to explore. Try this out. Entering Alcazar de Colon, you are led to the office of Governor Bernardino de Manzanedo. The governor does not seem particularly pleased to see you. What is this all about? Senor Villarejo. I'm glad you could come here so quickly. What's this all about? Straight to business then. Very good. I know your father by reputation, a powerful man back in Spain, but this is Hispaniola, and now you answer to me. I will not let a spoiled nobleman's son pay his way to the New World with his father's money. I have better uses for you, your men and supplies, than to waste them chasing after foolish dreams of fortune and glory. Do you understand me? Those are my people. They serve me. Corner of the governor's mouth lips curl up condescendingly. They serve the Spanish crown, and here I am the Spanish crown. Your men and your ship are going nowhere without my permission, and you'll get no such thing as long as this colony is under threat. The fact of the matter is that your troops are needed here. We have been having some problems with the natives recently, and our suspicion is that various groups of them are preparing for insurrection. It's almost like you're colonists, and this is their land, and you're kind of being shitty to them. But I digress. You would do well to serve your king and his representative in this matter. You want my help to maintain your tyranny. For the briefest moment, the governor seems genuinely upset. How dare you! We have brought culture and civilization to these savages in the word of God. They don't want any of that, so fuck off. This island is the gateway to the New World, and you would do well to remember that I hold the key. What must I do to open the gate, then? Go down to the fortress and find the quartermaster, Umberto y Rosso. He will put you to the test. Make sure that you understand what it takes to lead Spanish soldiers into battle. When he is done with you, return to me, and we will discuss how to proceed from there. With a resentful tap of his knuckles on the desk, Governor de Manzanedo sends you away. Wow, what a fucking dick. Well, first off, is there a codex? Do I have my codex around here? I don't actually know. Oh, we can look at what we have. So valuables, equipment, medicine, rations, craftables, perishables. Okay. So next we go to this gentleman, I believe. Finding the fortress is not difficult, and now that you're no longer in a hurry, you have time to take in the new city on your way there. Find Umberto y Rosso. You find El Rosso smoking a pipe in the shade, evidently enjoying the warm climate while he watches some soldiers train in the courtyard. He addresses you with a very friendly voice. So you're the new arrival. I saw your ship come in. I dare say it's quite impressive. You must know the right people back in the old world. You notice that his accent is distinctly Italian, so I was doing a horrible job of that. You notice that is from somewhere around Firenze, if your ears do not deceive you. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Senor Rosso. Portly man raises his eyebrows and lets out a single bellowing laugh. Did Manzanedo genuinely call me that? I never thought the old Stronzo would help drop the formalities. My name is Umberto de Rosso. It's Italian. But nobody calls me that except the governor, and I suppose he finally started using my nickname as well. No matter. What does El Rosso mean? It means the red, but if that's all the same to you, I'd rather not go into how I came to acquire that name. And what may I call you, Capitan? My name is Brujo Villarejo. Rosso's face is split by a wide grin, and he extends his hand to shake yours firmly. Very good. It is also a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Villarejo. Manzanedo sent me here to take command of my people. Rosso crosses his arms and smirks. If you'll excuse my facetiousness, they are not currently your people, Capitan. However, I will be ready to release them into your command once you have shown me that you understand what it takes to command Spanish men and women in battle. Anything less would be irresponsible of me. I did look it up. There were female conquistadors that they were just incredibly rare. Very well, if it can be no other way, I suppose I can use the practice. Rosso spreads his arms and then loudly claps his hands together in a sweeping motion. That's the sort of attitude I was hoping to encounter. Here, most of your people seem to be done unloading their equipment from your fine ship. Why don't we go ahead and divide them into two sides? I will lead one group, you will assume command of the other. Let's see if you know what you're doing. So, I'm going to be fighting my own men. So, I want... You do not have time to prepare. Thanks. Let's go with one of my soldiers. Go with my hunters? Yes, because they're the ones that have the ranged. Then we'll go with... We'll go with one of my doctors. Let's see if that works. So, melee fighter, ranged, and then a support. So let's see if that works out. Your turn. You have triggered a battle. Your people are highlighted with blue. The enemies are highlighted with red. Click on one of your soldiers or their portrait. Alright, so... Soldier. The grid shows how far you can move. Stay inside the yellow light green area if you also want to attack this turn. Yellow movement indicator. Convert your action into move by walking into the dark green area. Orange movement indicator. Okay, you can switch a unit between melee and range. Soldiers are best in melee, hunters are best at range, scouts can't shoot. Got it. So, first off, can I click on... what's this? Flawless defense, attack action, cooldown 1 turn, adds the soldier's melee attack to their defense. Okay. That's something I can do with that. Ranged attacks. Ranged attacks depend on line of sight and distance. The farther you are from your target, the less likely you are to hit. Makes sense. Some objects provide partial cover, reducing chance to hit, so that'll cause, from the yellow, maybe. Some objects provide full cover, preventing you from attacking behind them. Targets behind them. Okay? Then what about you? Okay, you don't have anything. Spot traps, abs movement, so... You're my hunter. So, interrupt attack action instead of attacking the strength. Play the unit. Tactical moves. Abs movement speed. Well, let's give Bruno a shot. Okay, so he blocked it with his shield. Blocked a bullet. Okay, and then put him behind cover. There we go. Then we'll have you go up. What do we have? The hunter, the doctor, the soldier. Try to lure him. What's his move? Can I tell what his movement is? Like how far he can move? Endurance, attack of opportunity, damage. Okay, so there's attack of opportunities too. So kind of reminds me of Pathfinder's turn-based system a little bit. Not as in-depth. I can't just cast Fireball on him, but... if his movement is anywhere close to what mine is like, I think I should probably... Oh, I have a polearm too. Does that, increase my range of attack? Or I'm not sure yet, actually. Allows you to move past or walk away from enemies without Pokemon opportunity. Spot traps. Flawless defense. There we go. I'll just move it up then. There we go. Then Doctor. So that's the heal. So that's his heal. So let's keep the Doctor back here. Yeah, let's keep the Doctor back here. Have him shoot. And he misses because he's a Doctor. Indicator ring. The character ring indicates what you can do this turn. Blue ring indicates you can still move. Red indicates that you can perform an action. Gray means the character has spent all its actions. When you think you're finished, click the hourglass in your turn. If you know you're going to lose, click the white flag to retreat. Okay. So, movement. That's good for right now. Aha! Fuck you, Dorado. Ow. The defense was supposed to... Ow! The defense was supposed to mean that you're not... The defense was supposed to mean that I wasn't going to get hit. Or harder to hit. If you place 2 units on directly opposite sides of flanking, so it's flanking, yeah. If you try to move past an enemy, they will get a free attack of opportunity. Yeah, that makes sense. Making a range attack at melee range will also provoke... Oh yeah, range it, yeah. Melee range, moving out of melee range also provokes attack of opportunity. Okay. So let's get you going. There we go. Then we'll get... There we go. There we go. Then we'll send the doctor here to heal. Heal endurance. There we go. There we go. And then move him back a little bit, because he's now exposed. Aha! Fuck you. Oh no. Ow! Rude. Return. So I have the abilities. Yeah, I've already been using the abilities, so I got that. Combat Restore. Got that. Well. Flanking Strike. Then we'll switch you to Dagger and have you stab. Ooh, critical. Nice job, Antonio. And you... Get you fired up. There we go. There we go. All right. Going pretty well. Going pretty well, I'd say. We got their warriors down. All that's left is their doctor and their hunter. Their hunter's not in a great position, so I think I'm okay to move my hunter up here. So now he has a nice line of sight for the doctor next round. Oh, the heal. Right, he's a healer. Ow! Screw you. Alright, let's get you out of the way. There we go. Then we'll get fire off on you. There we go. There we go. Switch over to here. Doctor right here. And stabby stab. There we go. Well, practice drill as we stab each other to death. Ow. Jerk. Alright, switch you back to melee. You're not as good at melee, but I need you. There we go. Gang up on him. Take him down. Beat his ass. Alright. No injuries. Awesome. Good job, Trevino. Good job, Lopez. And good job, Velasquez. Oh, look at them. They're partying in the background. Look at that. DeRossi trundles across the battlefield, quote-unquote, to meet you, wiping the sweat off his forehead. Whipping? Wipe? Typo. Well fought. You are quite the tactician. Well done indeed. Your people are free to join up with you if they wish. I have no qualms about letting you take them, and you can tell the governor I said so. I hope this is not the last we see of each other, young man. I nod appreciatively. You respond with a smile and a tired nod, and DeRossi pats you on the back. Then he lights up his pipe and walks back to his place in the shade. All right, DeRossi, you're not too bad. Well updated. Earn your command. I'm right, earn my command. Right. Returning to the palace, you're made to wait for an insultingly long time while the governor finishes some allegedly important responsibilities. Fortunately, the palace is a very lovely garden courtyard where you can sit and pass the time. When you're finally let through to De Manzanedo, it is without even a hint of apology for the wait. Yes, good. I take it you passed whatever test DeRossi had devised for you, then. I expect you'll be pleased to know the perfect opportunity has returned up for you to serve the people of San Domingo. I did not cross the Atlantic Ocean to pay fetch for you. I did not cross the Atlantic Ocean to play fetch for you. Once I've stocked up on supplies, I'm leaving to explore the mainland. I think not. I'm releasing the confiscated contents of your cargo hold to you, but your ship is still in my custody and will remain so until I'm done with you. Entendido? This is an outrage. You have no right to confiscate my personal property. Property rights, bitch. Your father's property. Okay. Fair nepotism. I have every right. I could turn the cannons of the fortress on your ship and send it to the bottom of the Ozama River if I decided to, and you would have no recourse to stop me. The sooner you realize that your objections are futile, the sooner we can get down to the business of how you might earn my permission to mount your expedition. The governor's arrogance seems to coalesce and roll over you in smothering waves. I see that I have no choice. The governor makes a small pause to savor this little victory. Oh, prick. I hope I can shoot him at some point. Then he folds his face into a businesslike expression. As you may have surmised, as you know, several problems encroach upon our control over the island. Most urgently, our supply lines to Santiago de los Caballeros in the north are being disrupted by a native cult of pagans that we suspect is using some old ruins in the deepest jungles of the island. Our supply lines must be secured, or the people of Santiago will be severely threatened by the slaves and the rebels. And the troops of Santo Domingo have allowed this to go unaddressed. Captain Noriega refuses to take his troops anywhere near those ruins, and in any event, they cannot be spared. They are needed to protect the city against the slaves. Oh, God. I have no such superstitious misgivings. Where are the ruins located? East-northeast from here. That way, the jungle gets denser and the ground turns swampy. The ruins are somewhere in the middle of it. Bear in mind, we know next to nothing about this cult. We don't know what kind of people they are or how much of a fight they'll be putting up. I suggest you catch them by surprise and cut them down first. There'll be plenty of time to find out what they've been up to later. We'll see what the situation looks like when we get there. De Manzanero waves dispersively. Yes, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Feel free to keep whatever items of worth you uncover in that place. We'll call it your reward for a job well done. Return here when it's over, and we shall discuss your next assignment. Palace. As you leave the governor's office, you are met by a young woman in uniform. Capitan Bruno Villarejo, Isabella de Gurunes. I'll have to look up how to pronounce that later. At your service. I will take you to the docks and oversee the transfer of your cargo into possession. Take her hand and kiss it. I'm going to be a flirt. I'm diplomatic after all, right? You lift her hand to your lips and kiss it gently. She blushes ferociously and conceals a smile behind her hand. Follow me, please. Event. Alright, so we got a few things we can do. So, what can we talk in here? The governor's staff informs you that he does not wish to be disturbed unless you've got something important to report. Sense? What about this person? A concerned-looking woman flags you down in the street. Capitan Villarejo, a moment of your time, if you would be so kind. Of course, Senora. How can I help? I would humbly ask that you keep your men away from our young girls. The arrival of your contingency caused quite a stir here, and your men should know that our girls are virtuous, and we would very much like them to stay that way. Okay. So they're worried that we're gonna be a little frisky, to put it lightly. My troops are gentlemen, and I assure you they would never dream of imposing themselves upon your young ladies, Senora. Thank you. I can see that you are a man of grace who understands the importance of protecting a young girl's virtue. I am relieved by your assurances. Of course. Adios. Adios, Captain. Event. Okay, so gotta make sure that stuff doesn't happen. I think I picked a pretty good crew for that to not happen, though. As far as I can tell. Unless they all die. Alright, grab our supplies. Isabella leads you to the back docks where Umberto de Rossi is jovially overseeing the final customs check of your cargo from the comfort of his chair, pipe firmly held between his teeth. Characteristically, he gets up to greet you when Isabella announces your presence. Yep. Right. Oh, we meet again. Sooner than I expected, I must admit, and I see you've met Isabella. She's a polite young woman, isn't she? The daughter of Andre de Ruruns, who came over with Columbus on the Santa Maria, so you might say she's got the pioneer spirit in her blood. Also the spirit, let's see, 1 second. I got a bot. And the bot. There we go. So she's the descendant of the original genociders, like Columbus, that horrible fucking monster. He was considered awful by his time period, so even by his contemporaries. So that should be all that you really need to be said. Umberto nudges Isabella affectionately, which does little to remove the beet red color of utter embarrassment upon her cheeks. That is really none of my business, Umberto, and you shouldn't talk about her like that when she's standing right there. Umberto laughs heartily. Worry not, mio amico. Isabella is quite capable of defending herself if she wishes to. There is no need for you to protect her from my jokes. If you're quite done, shall we get down to business? Dorothy finishes laughing and gestures towards the cargo packages neatly stacked on the wooden boardwalk of the harbor. It's all here, Capitan. 500 reals worth of gold and silver treasure, 1 week of rations for 10 troops, valued at 700 reals, medicine and medical equipment to the tune of 800 reals, and 1,800 reals worth of military equipment. What? We stocked 800 valuables and 2,000 reals worth of equipment. Umberto looks embarrassed. Now, these dock workers, most of them are slaves. The ones that aren't, well, they're not all up to moral standard, if you might wish. Your goods must have been stolen. Okay, I'm sure it's probably someone else. I might have known not to trust my cargo in the hands of strangers. Okay, I don't know. Is he talking about, like, the slaves? Because that's a little sketchy. If he's talking about just the command structure of Santo Domingo in general, then yeah, but whatever. I do apologize. I should have kept an eye on them. Well, it's too late to do anything about that now. I'm going to need horses and carts and some servants. Of course. You may take 3 carts from the garrison, seeing how Noriega's contingent seemed to be afraid to leave the confines of the town anyway. I believe we can spare a dozen slaves from the docks to serve on your incursions and stuff. No slaves. I want paid servants only. I'm not dealing with slaves. Umberto cocks his head significantly to the side. I'm sure I can arrange that. You'll still need a dozen of them, and they'll demand pay up front, of course. I'll talk to them on your behalf. I should be able to get you a good price, say 200 reales. That'll be fine. I'm leaving as soon as our supplies have been loaded onto the carts. Have them join us on our way out. Yeah, I'd rather pay my workers. Umberto nods and hurries off towards the palace. Isabella de Runes steps forward to speak. Wait for her to speak. I hope you'll pardon my forwardness, but would you permit me to join your expedition, Capitan Villarejo? Do you have experience in battle? I have trained for many hours with Umberto, but no, I have never faced a real enemy. I would be happy to simply help with the carts and work around the camp every night until I'm ready to fight. This isn't going to be a pleasant walk through the woods, Senorita de Runes. Isabella frowns. Understand that. On this island, I'm familiar with the conflicts that are tearing it apart. In some ways, I embody those conflicts. Not squeamish, and I have no illusions about what I'm signing up for. I only wish to learn. Well, what are your skills? What can you do to make yourself useful? I've spent almost as much time with the Taino as I have here in Santo Domingo. Oh yeah, because there was an option that was saying that she was half Taino, I guess. I know their culture and their traditions, not to mention their language. I'll be a useful interpreter. I also know the land quite well. I've traveled the jungles and the coast extensively. Go on and sign up with Umberto then. Because I would like a diplomat. I would like someone to help me translate, because I'm trying to do this peacefully. Sparkling grin graces Isabella's face, and she sets off at a brisk pace towards the fortress to pack her things. All right. We got a few new areas that we can check out real quick. So let's check out this one since we're here. This house is the home of Santo Domingo's best healer, Maria Tojero. She can help you get your injured followers back on her feet if you bring her the needed medicine. I don't have any injured followers, so that's fine. What about you? Trading. This is the trading screen. Trading is a bartering system where you can trade your sources for merchants' goods. On the left side, you can see the merchant's purchasable resources. On the right, you can see your own tradable resources. Continue. If a merchant has a low supply of a resource, they will value that resource higher than usual. Okay, so there's a little bit of an economic system in here beyond just buying and selling it normal. If the merchant has a high supply, they will value that resource lower than normal. Whenever possible, aim to buy resources in high supply and sell resources in low supply. All traders are reset every 7 days. Gotcha. Okay. The marketplace of Santo Domingo is tiny compared to the markets back in Spain, But at the same time, it carries an air of importance that must come from being the central hub for commerce in Hispaniola. Trade resources. Low supply, high supply, high supply. I can't see. Let's not trade anything just yet. I'm not sure yet what any of that's going to be like. So let's check out this building next. You're passing by a large home in the northern part of town when a man comes out from the front door and trots towards you with a raised arm. Excuse me, senor, a moment of your time. What do you want? Are you the new captain that came here on the Maria Teresa? Are you not? I've seen your troops. They look very capable. The man hesitates. I'm wondering if perhaps you would be willing to hire out some of your men to perform a task for me. I am willing to compensate you for their time within reason. I don't believe we've been introduced. Oh, no, I quite forgot. Please forgive me. My name is Marin Chocero. I am treasurer to the governors of Santo Domingo. Bruno Villarejo. Now, what is this task? My wife is a soldier under Noriega's command. She was sent on a patrol to the mountains northwest of here, but her detachment hasn't returned. They are weeks overdue. I'm besides myself with worry. He does indeed seem to be beside himself with worry. Okay. Wow, weeks. Hispaniola is not that big, so might be dead. Probably dead. Have you spoken to Noriega? Noriega, Cosero clenches his fist. Noriega shares my concern, but he insists he cannot spare the troops to send after my wife, particularly now that, he has just lost a detachment. I'll take my people into the mountains and search for your wife. He nearly erupts into tears. Thank you, Captain Villarejo. Her name is Luisa Chocero. She is a sergeant in the army. She is 31 years old, has long black curls, and she wears a medallion with my portrait inside it. Please, I will pay you whatever you wish if you will only find out what has become of her. Marin Chocero thanks you again several times, and then he thanks each of those troops who are with you before finally withdrawing to his home again. Okay, so we got a side quest. Passing by Marin Chocero's spacious and idyllic house, you're reminded of the unhappiness inside. Hopefully you'll be able to put an end to Senor Chocero's worries soon. Okay. Oh, no. I wanted to go this building first. Cathedral Santa Maria le Menor. The cathedral is still under construction, and it shows, but it's already being used for weekly sermons and daily prayers by the colonists. Let's attend a sermon real quick. Today's sermon is delivered by a Franciscan monk by the name of Caro from the town's monastery. The sermon is quite different from the seasonal themes you're used to back in Spain. It's clearly colored by the trials of settling the New World. After the sermon, Hermano Caro stands at the door to thank everybody for attending as they leave. He is a slender man in his mid-60s with a long white beard and gentle eyes. When you shake his hand, he gives you one look and then pulls you aside. Your Grace, a moment of your time, please. Capitan Noriega has mentioned you in passing. He said you and your troops might be heading north to Santiago de los Caballeros within the foreseeable future. Would you like me to deliver a message? In a manner of speaking, I'm hoping I could convince you to bring a modest load of Bibles to the good people of Santiago. Are Bibles really the shipment the people of Santiago need the most? Regular caravans of more important supplies go between Santo Domingo and Santiago, but this is a special shipment. The word of God is sadly not reproduced in quantities as large as food and weapons. If this shipment were to be lost, it would be something approaching a tragedy. Very well. Have the shipment brought to my carts, hermano. I will see that they get there safely. The monk shakes your hand enthusiastically. Thank you, Capitan. Id con Dios. Alright, so we got another side quest. Got 2 goals now. So we got the Ruined Temple, and we have the Santiago de los Caballeros. So, a few things to look at for you. A point of interest just off that way. A point of interest up above the wall. So we have a few things to look into, it looks like. Alright. Well, let's talk to this guy real quick. One of Noriega's soldiers stops you as you're leaving Santo Domingo. If you have a moment, Senor Villarejo, Capitan Noriega would like to have one last word with you before you leave. He'll be here momentarily. Wait for Noriega. Thank you for waiting. I don't know what De Manzanedo has told you about me. I may be far past my prime, but I'm no fool. I've spent a lot of time in these jungles, and I just want to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Any advice you have, I will consider. There are many dangers on this island. Savages, rebels, bandits. But the most dangerous foe is hunger. Be mindful of your food reserves. Each person in your expedition will need 1 ration every day, and nobody likes having to go hungry. Where can I stock up on rations? The market here in Santo Domingo sells plenty of food. The northeast, Santiago de los Caballeros, has a fine market of its own. There are also 3 Taino villages of significance on this side of the island, 1 on the north coast and 2 to the east. Most Taino are very friendly. Maybe you can convince them to sell you some food as well. Thank you, Capitan. The old man nods and places his hand on your shoulder. You seem like a man with your heart in the right place. For what it's worth, I think the governor acted unjustly when he confiscated your ship. I wish the best on your travels. Con Dios. Con Dios. End event. Alright, so he's not that bad of a guy, but now it's time for us to depart. Alright. Seems like an interesting game so far. We got our missions and objectives, so let's go take a look.